What is going on, guys? T to the M to the IDD, back with another video. This one is going to be interesting because of the focus point. Now, normally when you take photos, you edit them and you give them to your models, whether it's TFP or what have you. Now, I've seen previous videos where YouTubers would take their photos, send it to a few people on Fiverr, pay them X amount of dollars and have them edit it as well. But recently, I've been on Instagram, TikTok, and we have filters available that models use on the day-to-day basis, which kind of struck a nerve in me. I wanted to know, what did they like? It's been plenty of times that I've delivered photos and you see a difference in what the model likes versus what you like. Because sometimes I'll look at some images and I'll say, okay, I know that this image right here is a great one. And the model would pick something that is far from your liking sometimes. So I wanted to challenge them and really get a sense of the editing style that they like, or the look that they like in their images. So what I did was, a while back, I tasked 3 models to edit their own photo and send it back to me, just so that I could see how they would edit and what they like versus how I edit and what I really like. So we're going to go through each model's picture, and keep this in mind, I did send them JPEGs because they don't have access to softwares where they can utilize RAWs. So I did send them JPEGs, and I'm going to compare a similar photo from the same shoot that I already edited, just to kind of see what they did differently from me. So let's hop into it. The first model that we have is India. Now, India, I have not shot with her in a while, but this particular shoot was actually a year ago, October 2020. We used a 2-light setup, and so this is the image that you all see now. Now, if we take a look at this image, it looks really kind of a blurry effect added on top of it. Looks like some smoothing effect going on, and it kind of looks a little higher in exposure from what I'm looking at. I know initially the scenery, when I shot this, I kind of shot it right at the just slightly underexposed, since I had a main light with off-camera flash illuminating her. But this is what I mean by it's interesting to see how they edit a photo. It kind of gives almost a pixelated type of look, and I've seen her do that with several other of her normal pictures that she posts. So this is a very interesting edit right here. And if you look on her page, sometimes they archive their stuff, but you'll see like this similar type of edit where the skin is smoothed out, things like that. So now let's go to a similar photo I edited from this same shoot. And by the way, in the comments, I want you all to rate these edits. I want you to pick the model that has the best edit in your opinion. Okay, so the shoot, same picture, same shoot. This is how I edited it. I used Lightroom to edit this picture. I kind of brought out my colors a little bit more. In her picture, they were kind of less saturated, so I brought out my colors a little bit more, and I wanted to really focus all the main light onto her. And as far as the edit, I did some skin smoothing, but not as much smoothing as you probably could see in her image. And I tried to edit as I seen the actual picture when I took it. That's kind of my editing style. I like it to be almost exact as I seen it for most of my images. So I try to bring it back and pump some vibrance into it. And so with this, I was very happy, especially she has beautiful eyes. So I really try to highlight that when I do shoot with her. So that is my edit. So this is the first set for India Korre. Okay, now we're gonna go to the next picture. Now, this is Dev. Dev, I haven't shot with her for a few months either, because every time I get a go-to model, something happens. India just fell off the face of the planet, is like super busy. Dev moved to Houston. I'm in DC, so obviously that wouldn't work. This particular shoot used the optical snoot in my in-home studio. If you haven't seen this, I'll link it up here. Definitely check this out. This was some of the best creative lighting and probably one of my best photos that I have taken in 2021. Hands down, probably one of the best, especially with the most interaction and engagement from YouTube community, Instagram, and all of the above. So looking at her photo, so she took the JPEG that I gave her, and it looks like she was just more heavy on the saturation. That's what it looks like. It looks like she does have some tint, some magenta in there, where if I look back into the highlights of that blinds effect, it does look like she has a little hint of magenta there, probably a little bit of vibrance also, but it seems like her editing style is more so on the increase the saturation and make those colors pop, which is kind of interesting because I like to do that too, but probably just not as much as this. Also, it does look like we have some skin smoothing here, but it's not over the edge too much. The saturation is just really popping, so that might be the thing that I'm really seeing over anything else in this picture. Now, it's interesting, the softwares that everyone does have access to, because these models do be having softwares that can do some phenomenal things, and it's all at the expense of having it on their cell phone. And that's so convenient. I've seen people pull up their cell phone, take a picture, fix a few things, and they're like, okay, now let me post. So that is what I'm seeing from Dev. Dev is actually supposed to come back in a few weeks, and we're supposed to shoot. So we're gonna have to get a lot of content with her before she goes back to Houston. Okay, now this is my edit. Like I said, I'm very matter of fact. I love to punch the vibrance. And in this particular shoot, I did go intricate and go into the details. So like eyebrows, I went into the baby hairs. I went into each of the highlights, the eyes, because I knew that this image was worth that amount of editing. And so this is how I edit it. And like I said, I try to edit it as I see the actual frame when I took it initially. When I was in my basement and I took this photo, this is kind of how I seen it. And I just try to bring that back to life if I don't already have a plan in place for how I want to edit. I just try to bring it back as real as possible to me. And so my colors, vibrant, got some saturation, but nothing over the top. And then the skin, of course, I had to do some frequency separation and blend, and also get some dodge and burn just to even those skin tones out. But this was the image that I edited compared to hers. So check those out and you can see what she did versus what I did. And obviously, you know, I had a more powerful software to use for editing, but this is just to see how they edit it versus how I edit it, but more so to compare all of the models' edits and see which one do you feel did the best job with their own photo. Okay, now the last person. This is Shy, Foreign Shy. Probably right now is my go-to model because she always, whenever I need something, I can let her know and she'll say, okay, let's do it. And it's always good to have a model like that on your team. So shout out to Foreign Shy. Go show her some love. Always willing to almost do any type of shoot and create anything and bring me ideas as well. So I sent her the JPEG of the shoot, and this is what she came up with, which is really interesting because it has a hint of kind of a cooler background, and then it has some vibrance and almost like some luminance to make that lime green pop a little bit more with that rim light hitting her on her right hand side. She also, if you zoom in and look, you can see that she did some skin smoothing also, but she didn't clean up many imperfections in the skin, which is also interesting because I can still see it is kind of like imperfection in the forehead. Not too noticeable, but you know, sometimes people want to get things perfect. So she kind of went over that, although she did smooth out the face with like some arms, things like that. A really concentrated look. I like how the green is popping, but the background is definitely interesting because I love moody photos. So this was a moody shoot, and so it has a gradient on the background that kind of goes from a black down to a, I would say like almost like a midnight blue. And then that is contrasted with the lime green. So this is her edit. Really popping. Saturation is there, shadows, making it dramatic, and you can really see the curvature and define the body shapes. So this is pretty interesting how she edited this. So make sure you let me know. Let me know in the comments. Remember, who got the best edit from their own session. Okay, now let's go to the same session, just a different photo, and how I edited it. This is actually a photo that I edited for her. I have not released this shoot yet. So if you want this shoot, let me know in the comments. Say release Foreign Shy shoot, because I have not released this. So if you want it, let me know in the comments, and also let me know in the comments whose photo you feel is the best in terms of their editing style. So let's go. Okay, now my image, I kind of played, how I said, realistic to how the session was. And you could see where her blue probably came in from on that right side. It's more of a gray, but in hers it was a blue. But the green, I made it pop, but also I wanted to keep the attention on her. So I made sure that the light was definitely illuminating her, instead of having too much exposure on either left or right side of the model. But this is my edit compared to hers. Now, you see how I would have edited the photo, and you see how they edited their own photos. So it gives you a sense of what they like. And this is actually a great tool, because the more you vibe with a model and get a sense of their style, you can make magic every time. So what I want you to do, as you look at these images side by side, who do you feel had the best edit? Let me know in the comments. I'm eager to see what you all think. This is definitely a different approach than I've seen. I've never seen a video where someone had their models edit their photos. So I wanted to try it out. I did it. This is what I got. Tell me what you all think. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification button. When I drop content, you will be notified. And If you are new here, you have no idea how much content I consistently drop. Go ahead and binge watch my previous videos. And if you are a true T-Nig member, then you already know how the content keeps continuously flowing. So let me know in the comments who has the best edit. Let me know if you want that foreign shy video. We can drop that. T to the M to the IDD. Peace.